to Through the Bible. We are listening to the stories of Moses and his people on their way to the promised land, Canaan. Moses and the Tabernacle, Exodus chapters 25 to 40. When Moses was on Mount Sinai, God gave him instructions to build a place where he could live among them. It was to be called a tabernacle, made of materials that could be packed up and moved as they traveled through the wilderness. Expensive metals, fine wood, leather, rich cloth, dyed threads, wood, and precious stones would be needed to make the tabernacle. Egyptians had given the Hebrew slaves expensive gifts when they left Egypt, but would they be prepared to give a share of these to God? When he came down the mountain, Moses told everyone, God wants those who are willing to bring their gifts to build a temple. We need precious metals and stones, strong acacia wood, linen and cloth. We also need skilled workers. Every morning, people willingly came and gave their gifts to make the tabernacle. They brought jewelry and objects made of gold, silver and bronze, ram skins, leather and acacia wood. People were happy to give fine linen, goat hair, and expensive threads in blue, purple, and scarlet. Others gave olive oil, spices, and precious stones. God had told Moses that Bezalel and Oholiab, two fine craftsmen, should be put in charge of the work. They were filled with the Spirit of God to be good in all the skills they needed to design artistically with metals, wood, and other materials. Other skilled workers joined them to make everything that God required. Every morning, people kept coming to bring their gifts. Soon they had more than they needed, and Moses told them to stop giving. In God's plan, there was to be a large courtyard. There were 20 posts down the longer sides and 10 down the shorter sides, each made of wood with a bronze base, silver hooks, and silver tops. Finely twisted linen curtains were made to go between these posts. The entrance of the tabernacle was always to be pitched facing east. Curtains of finely embroidered blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely twisted linen were made for the entrance. Inside the courtyard, the tabernacle would stand. A strong wood frame was built and 4 covers to go over it were made. First, there was finely embroidered linen, then a layer of goat's hair. Over that was a layer of ram skin dyed red. On top was a cover made of a bluish animal skin. The tabernacle was to be divided into 2 rooms, separated by a thick veil of fine linen embroidered with figures of angels in blue, purple, and scarlet. Only priests would be allowed to enter the holy place. No one would be allowed behind the veil into the most holy place, which was also called Holy of Holies, apart from the priest. Only the high priest could enter the Holy of Holies. He would enter it once a year to bring the blood of a sacrificed animal to make peace with God for their sins. The only object made to go inside the most holy place was an ark made of acacia wood covered in gold. The cover, which was the mercy seat, was made of pure gold, with two cherubim facing each other, whose wings met and spread over the cover. It was over this cover the very presence of God would be. Golden poles and a cover were made for the priests to lift and move the ark on their travels. A table made of acacia wood, covered in gold, was made for the holy place. It too had golden poles to carry it. It had plates, dishes, and bowls, all made of gold. Placed on the table each week were 12 loaves of bread, representing the 12 tribes of Israel. A lampstand with 7 branches made of pure gold was made to light up the holy place. A third bit of furniture for the holy place was a golden altar. Priests would use this to burn incense every morning and evening to make a pleasing aroma to God, so that the priests could wash their hands and feet before they served God in the tabernacle. A large bronze wash basin was made. It was to be placed in the courtyard in front of the holy place. A square altar of acacia wood covered with bronze was made to go in the courtyard. At each corner was a bronze horn, and it had golden carrying handles. The altar would be used for people to bring a male animal without defect, cattle, sheep, goats, or even birds if they were poor. They would put their hand on the animal to show it was being offered for them to make peace with God. The animal would be sacrificed and its blood sprinkled on the altar. This shed blood made it possible for God to forgive them for the wrong things they had done. The animal would be then burnt on the altar. Garments for the priests were made of white linen. A special garment was made for the high priest Aaron. It had a blue sleeveless tunic. Bells of pure gold were sewn around the hem with woven pomegranates between them. When the high priest went into the most holy place, those outside could hear the bells as he moved around and know he was still alive. Over the robe, a richly embroidered ephod of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet was worn. It was made in 2 pieces, joined together at the shoulders with golden clasps. Each clasp was set with an engraved onyx stone. On his head, the high priest wore a turban made of fine linen, which was bound around the head in coils. On the front of the turban, on Aaron's forehead, attached by a blue lace ribbon, was a golden plate engraved, "Holy to the Lord." A special breastplate was made for the high priest. It had 12 precious stones, each one engraved with the name of one of the 12 tribes of Israel. When everything was ready, the tabernacle was built in the middle of the camp with 3 tribes on every side. The tabernacle furniture was put in position. Moses placed the 2 tablets of stone containing God's laws into the ark and put the cover over it. When everything was finished and Aaron and his sons had washed and put on their robes, the glory of God filled the tabernacle. The cloud of God was over it by day, and the fire of God every night. When the cloud lifted, the Israelites would dismantle the tabernacle and travel on through the wilderness. They would make camp and assemble it again. God's presence remained with them wherever they were.